From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Well, this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready?
The LSU man Leonard Fournette, born right here in New Orleans. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Ready.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Right, 97.
Young. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Young. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Young on third down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Throwing on second down. Young is going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. On the move past the 40. And he'll be brought down at the 27. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now here's Young. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Well, this defense for the Saints, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Yeah, they held them completely out of the end zone, just held them to a field goal. So they're not just hoping for a repeat here. They're hoping to do it even better. A shutout is their goal.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Young to throw it. Gets it out quick. It's Gage on the slant. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. The opening drive, it continues, Charles, to be all pass, and it's working. Now they're on the doorstep of a touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to run it? Do you want to continue to throw it? Spin the dial, make your choice. But right now, you like what you're doing in this possession.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Fournette will score. Touchdown, Buccaneers. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
For the Saints, it's 7-2 here on the year. Their head coach, he's got them believing in themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9 games now.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And let's see, the Bucs with 6 DBs, so a dime set here on 3rd down. Watson. Got an open man, it's Olave. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Great way to convert on 3rd down there, 21 yards the play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Watson now to throw. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone's sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Here's Watson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Number 14. A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Watson. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Let's go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
Okay, ready?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Young. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Young. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now Young. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Watson. Out. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a 1st down now, playing behind the sticks.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now it's Watson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Okay, right?
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing, Young. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Good clean play, no flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, How much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. He's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Even though he recovered his own fumble, you know how much he hates to put the ball on the ground. He's going to be frustrated with himself.
And what do you think the time frame was from the time the ball escaped his grasp to him getting it back? It didn't take that long, right?
Right.
To him, it probably felt like hours because he's agonizing, like, I've got to get this football back. Able to get it done.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 down at the 33. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They run it again with Kamara. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Watson. And that will be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never like get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
When tapping those toes, he tried to get both inbounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'll take your word for it, my man. To throw on 2nd and 10. Young. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Fournette, a first down carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Fournette. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Young now. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Inside handoff now to Fournette. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Fournette on the counter. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Young working out of the gun. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
On the set.
To throw, Young. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Watson on first down. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. A 10th carry for Kamara. Always got some breathing room. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. They find some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. To throw is Watson. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. Finds his man. That's Olave on the crossing route. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On first down, Watson. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So this a 2-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the 3rd quarter. And we will not have a run back here as the 2nd half starts with a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Come on, set. Set 2.
First down, here's White. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Young.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Pete Werner.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Watson. Touchdown! Chris Olave with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Saints take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle. This is White. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans.
His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year and 4th overall. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will bump the lead up to 26. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel?
And now here's another interception.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights. That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw, extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
On second down, Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. A give to Howard up the gut, and he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the fourth down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone. But still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. From the 41, Young.
He completes this to Cole Turner.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a first down. They'll go up the middle with White. And some space here. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Rashad White, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bucs get a bit closer.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Over the middle, it's complete.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield,
Their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Number 36. That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and
2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying the right side with Howard. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Down right around the 25.
Logan Hall is there for the stop.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. A man who's been bit and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal
shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Young. A pass underneath for Fournette. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size,
and the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Devondre Campbell, nice play to get in there and drop it.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Another try after the first down sack. Young. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes, when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And some room to roam now.
104 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
This is Howard on 2nd down. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch.
Mike Evans, he's going to go. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From the red zone now, Young. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Paulson and Debo. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this.